Hello everyone, welcome to the video series of this subject, that is human machine and interaction. And here we are starting with the fifth chapter, that is interface design for mobile devices. In the last video we have gone through the topics which we are going to cover in this chapter, and so today in the today's topic we'll cover first two topic and then so on. Okay, so let us start with the first topic. These are the topics which are there in this chapter. Okay, so we are going to start with the mobile ecosystem, not mobile ecosystem. This is the prerequisite side topic, that is history and evolution of the mobile devices. Okay, so as far as the history is concerned, the telephone, because mobile, the earlier version of the mobile is absolutely the telephone. Okay, so telephone is undoubtedly one of the greatest invention of mankind, through which we can have communication from with all the people around the world which are far away from us. We can communicate, we can have a talk with them. Okay, so it revolutionized the communication, enabling us to reach across great distances and share thought, ideas, and dreams with our fellow man. Okay, so making the world easier, simple, and smaller place in the process. In fact, the telephone is probably one of the most defining technology of the 20th century and the most commonly used electronic device in this world today. As we can see, everyone is having the latest phone and the latest devices, so that they can have a communication with other people. They can have tasks. Even the whole task of the computer can be performed on the mobile itself. Okay, so regarding history, we cannot cover in one slide. Regarding history, this is the whole topic, or the whole chapter, the whole book can be written on this topic, that is the history of mobile devices. Okay, let us come to the focus point is on the next one, that is evolution of the devices. Even this topic is not there in your syllabus, but still I'm explaining that you just get aware of all these things. Regarding the evolution of devices, we have heard about the generation of computers, generation of other devices. So in the same way, there is a generation, or we can say G, of the mobile devices also. We call it as a generation, or simply G. So mobile technology has gone through many different evolution to get to where it is today. Okay, so as you can see, five images on the screen, and starting from the left side, that is the brick era. The second is the candy bar era. The third is the featured phone. The fourth one is the touch screen, and the fifth one is the sorry the first one is the brick era, second is the candy bar era, third is the feature phone era, fourth is the smartphone, and the fifth is the touch era. Okay, so these are the five generation. We call it as a generation or evolution of the mobile devices. Okay, let us start with the first one. That's the very we'll take a brief we'll take a brief explanation of all the devices or all the eras, the period and the duration of all these devices, and the examples. Okay, so the first era, we call it as a brick era, which started in 1973 to 1988. The figure shows the Motorola Dynatec 8000X was the first mobile phone to receive FCC acceptance in 1983. Okay, so Dynatec was actually an abbreviation of Dynamic Adaptive Total Area Coverage. In that you will find only numbers. There is no alphanumeric keyboard is over here. So only call or only calling service was provided with this break era, so they can have a communication, people can have a communication with each other in a limited coverage. So it was the break era. Come to the next one, that is a candy bar era. In the candy bar era, which comes under the second era, the candy bar era 1988 to 1998, it was represented one of the more significant leaps in the mobile technology, because apart from the calling and other, we can have a we can send messages also, that is we call it as a SMS. Okay, so SMS services was provided from this era. So for the first time, people started to realize that mobile phones could do more than a making voice call. Okay, so candy bar phones most commonly associated with the 2G, that is we are associated with the global system for mobile communication, that is GSM network, included the SMS service also. Okay, so it was the Nokia's candy bar phone. This is the example you can see on the screen. The third era was the featured phone era. You can see the Motorola phone, which was started in the 1998 to 2008. The generation or the period was from 1998 to 2008. So up to this point, mobile phones had done three things: making voice call, send text messages, and play the snake games. Okay, what we have seen in the earlier one, people used to play games with this kind of mobile, and the snake game was the very common game we had in those mobiles. The featured phone era opened a floodgate to variety of application and services on the phone, like listening to music and taking photos. Introduced the use of internet on the phone. Okay, so a lot of features was provided from this era, and people started making use of all these services. So during this era, GSM network provided added GPRS also, that we call it as a internet service. It was provided from this era also, and so during this era, GSM network providers added GPRS, general packet radio services. It was around 2.5G. We call it as a halfway between the 2G and the 3G. So from the phone era, that is featured phone era, the people started using all these kind of services. The next one, that is smartphone era. A smartphone era was in 2002. Okay, and we were having a lot of capabilities of this kind of phone, that is smartphone era. You will find the phone, the palm one, you can see on the screen. We can make a phone call, we can send SMS, we can take pictures, accessing the mobile web also, and almost these kind of phone were using the same operating system also. It was having the larger screen, the QWERTY keyboard, Wi-Fi and other form of high-speed wireless connectivity was also provided in the smartphone era phones. Okay, the example, as you can see, that's a palm one. The last one, which is the most common, which started, which was in 2000, I think 7. So this is the touch era. As you can see now, all the phones are the touch screen phone. All the people are having the phone, the latest phone, which are the touch screen phone. The example of iPhone is displayed on the slide. You can see we are having a lot of companies right now which are competing with each other, and we all are using, all the people are using this touch mobile devices. Okay, so all these are the generation, or we can say era, or we can say evolution of all the mobile devices, from brick era to candy bar, from brick era to candy bar to featured phone era, then smartphone.